Hello everyone. Hi, this is Alok Ojha. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. As you can see on the board, today's topic of discussion is micro-listing of the ancient Indian history topics for the prelims examination. The notification of UPSC is out, and many of the students they are thinking about how to initiate the preparation of prelims specifically from the perspective of history. And you have ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, and modern Indian history. So what approach do we need to follow for ancient Indian history? Okay, in this video, I would be discussing majorly about ancient Indian history. In the coming videos, I'll throw light on medieval Indian history and modern Indian history. I'll be going for micro listing of the topics in every session. Okay, so here you need to follow a right approach for the ancient Indian history. And here I would be focusing majorly on the important topics that you cannot afford to miss in ancient Indian history. Okay, in the end, I would also be talking about the sources that you need to study for ancient Indian history, the trick to revise ancient Indian history, and apart from this, what kind of questions do crop up in every chapter. I'll be giving examples. Okay, so please stick in the video till the end, because here I have mentioned about very small topics after going for an analysis of past 5 to 7 years of UPSC question paper. Is that clear? So without wasting any more time, let's begin our today's topic of micro listing of ancient Indian history topics for prelims examination 2026. The first important topic is prehistoric culture. Okay, and specifically what kind of questions have been asked here. Let me give you a small example. The human evolution started approximately around 24 million, and it is divided into three important stages. The first stage is Miocene age, then comes Pliocene age, and then comes Pleistocene age. Pleistocene age is further divided into four important stages, and that is Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, Neolithic age, and Chalcolithic age. Here you will observe one word is common, and that is lithic. Lithic basically means stone, hence this age is also referred as Stone Age. There are different developments that took place during the different ages. Like in the Paleolithic age, one can observe the discovery of fire, development of stone tools, development of burins. Okay, and there are different sites which are associated with the Paleolithic age, like Hungasi in Gulbarga district of Karnataka. Apart from this, Belan Valley, Hiran Valley, Pahalgam. Then painting also appeared in the Paleolithic age, and the evidence of the painting for the very first time comes from Bhimbetka caves located in Raisen district of Madhya Pradesh. If I speak about one of the most striking feature of the Mesolithic age, here we can observe the domestication of animal for the first time. Neolithic age, the term Neolithic was being coined by John Lubbock, and the term Neolithic revolution was coined by Gordon Childe. One of the most striking feature of the Neolithic age was development of agriculture. Chalcolithic age. Chalco is a Latin word which basically means copper. Lithic means stone. Hence it is referred as stone copper phase. So the questions can be asked from the perspective of the important sites. Now I'll give you a glimpse of a simple question. Consider the following statements about Neolithic age. The first statement: the agriculture appeared for the very first time during Neolithic age. Second statement: Burzahom, it's a Neolithic site located in Kashmir where the master and the dog both were buried in the same grave. Which among the following statements are correct? My friends, both the statements are true. Both the statements are correct. Okay. So by now you might have understood, apart from knowing the features of the individual ages, sites are also important. You can expect a question on the important sites of all the ages in the form of match the following, or which among the following are incorrectly matched. So these kind of questions can crop up in the examination. So please prepare the important sites. Moving ahead. Indus Valley civilization. Now, there were 4 civilizations that were contemporary to each other. And all these civilizations are located on the banks of some or the other river. Mesopotamian civilization, Egyptian civilization, Chinese civilization, and Indus Valley civilization. Mesopotamian civilization is located on the banks of Tigris and Euphrates River. Chinese civilization is located on the banks of Wangho or Yellow River. Egyptian civilization is located on the banks of longest river of the world, that is River Nile. And then comes Indus Valley civilization. As the name speaks, it is located on the banks of River Indus. Then there can be questions specifically on the town planning section. What is the concept of great granary? The Indus Valley civilization sites were divided into how many parts? Which is the northernmost site of Indus Valley civilization? Southernmost site, easternmost site, and the westernmost site. Apart from this, what are the features of the roads of Indus Valley civilization? Then, important Indus Valley civilization sites and questions can crop up from this section. I'll give you a very small example of Mohenjo-daro. Mohenjo-daro, it is located on the banks of River Indus in Pakistan. It is the second Indus Valley civilization site to be discovered, and it was discovered in 1922 by Rakhaldas Banerjee. And the important findings from the site of Mohenjo-daro includes a multi-pillared assembly hall. So there's an assembly hall which has multiple pillars. So we can infer that it might be a temple or a meeting place for a nearby village assembly. Then seal of Pashupati Mahadev, also referred as Proto-Shiva. The bronze image of a nude dancing girl. A question has been asked in UPSC Prelims 2025. Bronze image of a nude dancing girl. Then statite image of a bearded man. If we observe the bronze image of a nude dancing girl, she is standing in a posture, and that posture is referred as Tribhanga posture. So you can expect a probable question on Tribhanga posture. Apart from this, statite image of a bearded man. If you observe the statue of a bearded man or an idol of bearded man, it is perfectly stylized combed hair and everything. So probably he might be a priest. The concept of great bath have been found from the site of Mohenjo-daro. Okay, and the entire great bath is made up of burnt brick. There is no use of a single stone in the entire great bath. So the questions can appear from the key findings of the important Indus Valley civilization sites. So important sites that you need to study are Harappa. If you want to note it down, I'm dictating, please note them down. Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, which is also called as Manchester of Indus Valley civilization, Dholavira, which in local language is called as Kotada Timba, and Tropic of Cancer passes through the site of Dholavira. In fact, water conservation system have been observed for the first time at the site of Dholavira. Then Surkotada. Here the horse remains have been found. Rangpur, Hulas, then Desalpur, which is located in Nakhtrana Tehsil of Gujarat. Apart from this, Kalibangan and Banavali. In fact, Kalibangan and Banavali are the two Indus Valley civilization sites which exhibit Proto-Harappan as well as Harappan cultural phase. Then Balu, Hulas, Shortugai, which is located in Afghanistan, Mundigak, again located in Afghanistan, Kot DG, located in Pakistan, wherein we observed for the first time what? At this site, the statue of bull and mother goddess have been observed. Chanhu-daro, again very important site because it is the only Indus Valley civilization site without a citadel. And probably this site might have been destroyed by the floods. Okay, so then Sinoli, which is located in Bagpat district of Uttar Pradesh. Then Sutka Gendor, which is located on Pakistan-Iran border. Here, ashful pot has been found. And from that, we can infer that people might have followed different burial practices. That is fractional burial or partial burial. So Indus Valley sites, please do not miss this section. And the most important thing about these sites that you need to remember is the key findings from this site. Then Go through the agriculture, religion, script, seals, pottery. This section is also very important from the perspective of the examination. Okay, like I'll give you a very small example about the religion part. The religion of Indus Valley civilization was secular and polytheistic, like the seal of Pashupati Mahadev or Proto Shiva, statue of Mother Goddess. People might have believed in something called as symbolic worship. Okay, like we have observed the worship of trees, animals, snakes and birds. In fact, they might have worshipped the people tree. They might have believed in phallic and yonic worship. And the evidence of phallic and yonic worship comes from the site of Harappa, located in present-day Pakistan on the banks of river Ravi. So also focus on these important aspects. Okay, what is a script referred as? Script is referred as boustrophodon. What was a cotton referred during the time of Indus Valley civilization? It was referred as sindon. Okay, so these are the key aspects that you need to focus on Indus Valley civilizations. Hope so the point is clear. Moving ahead. Vedic civilization. Now, just have a glimpse of Aryan invasion theory, but the probability of questions being asked on Aryan invasion theory is very less. They can ask you a question on what basis? Like Aryan invasion theory was given by Max Muller, but who said that the Aryans came from the Arctic or the poles? It was said by Bal Gangadhar Tilakji. Who said that the Aryans came from the Tibet? It was said by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Okay, so these kind of questions can be asked. You can expect a question from the 4 Vedas, which are referred as Shruti and Smriti. Okay, please read 4 Vedas compulsorily: Rig Ved, Samved, Yajurved and Atharvaved. I'll give you a short glimpse of Rig Ved and then I'll tell you what kind of questions have cropped up in the examination. Rig Ved. Try to break this etymology into 2 parts, Rig plus Ved. Rig means praising the deity, Ved means knowledge, and the word Ved has been derived from the word Vidya. Again, that means knowledge. Now, Rig Ved is divided into 10 books or 10 mandals. And in these 10 mandals, there are totally 1028 hymns and 10,552 mantras. Mandal 1 and 10 speaks about the origin of the universe. In fact, in Mandal 10, there is one section that is referred as Purusha Sukta. And in Purusha Sukta, it is mentioned that every human being is born from the different body parts of Brahma. Like the Brahman, he is born from the mouth, Kshatriya from the shoulders, Vaishya from the thighs, Shudra from the feet of Brahma. So this finds mention in Purusha Sukta, which is a part of Mandal 10. The famous Gayatri Mantra, composed by sage Vishwamitra. It finds mention in Mandal 3 of Rigved. Now, 3 gods are given more prominence in the shlokas in the hymns of Rigved. As discussed, there are 1028 hymns in Rigved. Out of 1028 hymns, 250 hymns are dedicated alone for Indra, who is referred as Purandar, breaker of forts, warlord, rain god. Second most important deity is Agni, god of fire, and 200 hymns are dedicated to Agni. Third most important deity here is, apart from Agni, here is Som, god of plants or intoxicants, and 120 hymns are dedicated to Som. And the Brahmanas associated with the Rig Ved are Aitreya and Kaushtaki Brahman. Very, very important. And what are Brahmanas? Brahmanas here are not individuals. Brahmanas are the text, and these texts explain the individual Vedas. Okay, now the question comes like, consider the following statement about Rig Ved. The famous Gayatri Mantra finds mention in the 3rd mandal of the Rig Ved. Then, the origin of the Varna system can be traced back to 10th mandal of Rig Ved. Which among the following statements are correct? Both the statements are correct. As discussed now, in Mandal 10, there is a mention of Purusha Sukta. And in Purusha Sukta, it is mentioned that every individual is born from the different body parts of Brahma. Correct? So, the origin of the Varna system can be traced back to Purusha Sukta, which is a part of Mandal 10. So, both the statements are correct. Similarly, go for Samved, origin of Indian music goes back to Samved. And there are different Brahmanas again associated with Samved. This question has been asked by UPSC Prelims examination. Panchvish, Sadvish, Jaiminya, Tandamaha, Talwakar, all these are the Brahmanas associated with, or the text associated with the Samved. Yajurved. Yajur means Yagna. And it is divided into two parts, Krishna Yajurved and Shukla Yajurved. Atharva Ved. Okay. Specifically, I'll give you a very simple example. In Atharva Ved, from Atharva Ved, one Upanishad is derived. That is Mundaka Upanishad. And in Mundaka, our national motto is given. Satyameva Jayate Nanratam. Truth alone triumphs and not the falsehood. So our national motto has been derived from which Upanishad? Mundaka Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad has been derived from which Veda? It has been derived from Atharva Veda. UPSC has directly asked a simple question, what are Aranyakas? Direct. The question is not in the form of consider the following statement. There was a direct question, what are Aranyakas? Aranyakas are nothing but forest books. Upanishad. Up means nearby. Sad means sit. Sitting near the Guru's feet to gain knowledge is Upanishad. And totally there are 108 Upanishad. Okay? And 11 are the most important one, which are referred as Mukhya Upanishad. Now you don't need to study all the important Upanishad, but at least throw light on few important Upanishads. You can note them down and there can be a question from them. Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad. Chand Yoga Upanishad. Katha Upanishad. Jabal Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad. Maha Upanishad. Okay, so these are the important Upanishads that you need to throw light on. Like the concept of Tattvamasi, it finds mention in which Upanishad? Chanda Yoga Upanishad. A question asked by UPSC, the dialogue between a 13-year-old boy Nachiket and Yam, that is god of death, it finds mention in which Upanishad? So it finds mention in Katha Upanishad. Then there are 4 stages of life. There are 4 ashrams of life. Brahmacharya, Grihasthashram, Vanaprastha and Sannyas ashram. It finds mention in which Upanishad of? It finds mention in Jabal Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad, as we had seen, Satyameva Jayate Nanritam, our national motto, it has been derived from Mundaka Upanishad. The concept of Vasudeva Kutumbam, it finds mention in which Upanishad? So all these questions have cropped up and can crop up in the examination. Then study 6 limb of Vedas. There are 6 limb of Vedas. Siksha, Vyakaran. Then first book on Vyakaran is Ashtadhyayi, written by Panini, the first book on Sanskrit grammar. Siksha, Vyakaran, Nirukt, Chand, Jyotish and Kalp. Kalp means rituals. So there are 16 rituals, Sola Sanskar that you have to go through. It is not necessary to remember the Sola Sanskar, but at least throw light on the terminologies, because I have mentioned here, probability you can expect a question on the key terminologies. Like what is Samavartan? Then what is Keshant? What is Pumsavan? What is Annaprashan? What is Chudakarma? Karna Bhed? Vidya Arambh, Veda Arambh. All these are terminology related to 16 or Sola Sanskar. Apart from this, I have not mentioned here, but please note that down as well. 8 different form of marriages. Brahma Viva, Prajapate Viva, Arsha Viva, Gandharva Viva, Asur Viva, Rakshas Viva, Pishach Viva. There can be a probable question on that as well. Comparative analysis of the early Vedic period and the later Vedic period on social, political, economic and religious grounds. Like in early Vedic period, sati system was absent, child marriage was absent, women were an active participant of the decision-making process. Like there were different village assemblies such as Sabha, Samiti, Gan and Vidhata. In fact, Vidhata, it was the earliest folk assembly of the Aryans. And the term Vidhata find mentions for 122 times in the shlokas of Rig Veda. Okay, and women were an active participant of the village assemblies. Sabha was the assembly of village elders. Samiti was the in general assembly. So, here, in later Vedic period, sati system became prevalent, child marriage became prevalent, and so on. So, go for a comparative analysis. Key terminologies. You can expect a question on terminologies. Let me give you a few examples. Wheat was referred as Godhum. Rice as Akshat, Vrihi or Tandul. Barley as Yava. Then pulses as Masa. Gold coins as Nishak. Gold ornaments as Nishak Grieve. There were different rivers that they were referred by different names, such as Indus was referred as Sindhu, Satluj as Sutudri, Byas as Vipas, Jhelum as Vitast, Ravi as Parushini. Okay, so terminologies are important. Pay attention to the terminologies. And there are more than list of 60 to 70 terminologies. Just go through them at least. Even if you do not remember the terminologies, but if you have read these terminology 3 to 4 times, in the examination, you will be able to easily eliminate them, even if you do not remember. Why? Because you have seen those terminologies repeatedly. Next important chapter that you need to focus upon is mahajanapadas. In mahajanapadas, the basic cause for rise of mahajanapad, 16 mahajanapad. In 16 mahajanapad, it is necessary to remember the location of these mahajanapad and the capital of these mahajanapad. Any significant rulers of these mahajanapad are also important. And there should be a major emphasis on one mahajanapad, that is Magad. Here you need to understand about the 3 important dynasties of the Magad, that is Haryanka dynasty, Shishunag dynasty and Nanda dynasty. I'll give you a very simple example. 2 important weapons, Rath Musal and Mahashil Kantak, are the inventions of which ruler? So, Rath Musal and Mahashil Kantak, these are the invention of Ajat Shatru. Ajat Shatru was a ruler of, Ajat Shatru was a son of Bimbisar, and Bimbisar was a ruler of Haryanka dynasty. So, Ajat Shatru was a ruler of Haryanka dynasty. Okay. Who was which ruler or which dynasty completely destroyed the power of Avanti, which was one of the strongest Mahajanapad? It was Shishunag. So Magad Empire is very important. Who was the last ruler of Nanda dynasty who was being dethroned by Chandragupta Maurya, who laid the foundation of Mauryan Empire? It was Dhananand, the last ruler of Nanda dynasty. So here you can expect factual questions. Probably you can expect questions like, on one side you will find the Mahajanapad, on the second side you will find the capitals. Match the following. Or on one side you will find the Mahajanapad, on the other side the locations of these Mahajanapad. Match the following. Like there is one Mahajanapad which is located in central India. Rather than saying central India, it is located in Deccan region. That is Asmak Mahajanapad, located in Maharashtra. There are 2 Mahajanapads located in Madhya Pradesh. One is Avanti Mahajanapad, second one is Chedi Mahajanapad. Okay. Then, chapter number 5, the Mauryan Empire. Okay. Now here you need to study about 3 important Mauryan rulers compulsory. Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusar and Ashok. Now Chandragupta Maurya in Greek and Latin literature is also called as Sandrokotas or Androkotas. Probable question. Bindusar is referred as Antriochates. Ashok is known by different names. Like he's called as Ranyo Ashok, and there has been a question on Ranyo Ashok in UPSC Prelims examination. He is referred as Devanam Piyadasi, that is beloved of gods. Priyadarshini, the most beautiful one. Chand Ashok, Ashoka the fiercest. So 3 rulers are very important and you cannot afford to skip them. Okay. Apart from this, the Mauryan administration, and I'll give you an example of the question that has been asked from Mauryan administration in Prelims 2025 itself. Like Mauryan administration, at the apex of the administration, we have king. And king is assisted in performance of his duties by council of ministers referred as Mantri Parishad. Okay, referred as Mantri Parishad. Now, Mantri Parishad is headed by Pradhan Mantri or Mantri Parishad Adhyaksh. That is the Prime Minister who is acting as a channel of communication between the Council of Ministers and the ruler. Okay, and there are different departments, and as per Kautilya's Arthashastra, there are 33 to 34 departments. You can expect a question from the Mantri Parishad or Central Administration. Example, Sita Adhyaksh was. He was the head of Agriculture Department. Kopya Adhyaksh, head of Forest Department. Akar Adhyaksh, head of Mines Department. Okay, Sani Dhata, head of Royal Treasury. Then Kosh Adhyaksh, head of Treasury. So there are different departments. Potwa Adhyaksh, weights and measures. Patan Adhyaksh, port. Durgapal, Durg means fort. So what we say, protector of the forts. Antapal, protector of the frontiers. Then district level administration. It is Rajuka, Yukta and Pradeshika. UPSC question 2025 prelims examination. Rajuka, Yukta and Pradeshika they are district level officers. Rajuka was revenue officer, Pradeshika was tax collector, and Yukta was treasurer. At the grassroots level of administration was Gramika, Gop and Sthanak. Gramika, he was the head of one village. Gop, he was the head of 10 villages. Sthanak, he was the head of 100 villages. Judicial system. Here you have to study about two important courts, civil court and criminal court. Civil court was referred as Dharmastheya, criminal court was referred as Kantak Shodhan. What is Charak and Bandhangar? These are jails. Defense system of the Mauryas. Spy system. Now there were two kinds of spies. Stationary spies and wandering spies. Stationary spies were referred as Sansthan and wandering spies were referred as Sanchari. Okay, and the head of spy department was referred as Gud Purush. So again a terminology. UPSC has asked a question on the concept of Stridhan. So the concept of Stridhan gained prominence during the time of Mauryan Empire. What is Stridhan? Just go through that. And go through the taxation system of the Mauryas. Apart from this, go through Ashoka's Dham and Rock and Pillar Edict compulsorily, and in Rock Edict, compulsorily read major rock edicts of Ashoka. So there are totally 14 major rock edicts of Ashok and 3 minor rock edicts of Ashok. There are 7 major pillar edicts of Ashok and 3 minor pillar edicts of Ashok. Like I'll give you a very simple example. Every human is my child. It finds mention in which rock edict of Ashok? Major rock edict number 5. Greek rulers such as Alexander, Ptolemy, Antiochus, they find mention in which rock edict of Ashoka? Major rock edict number 13, and it is the largest rock edict. The officer who is responsible for women's welfare, what was his name? Ithijika Mahamatra. And Ithijika Mahamatra, he finds mention in which rock edict of Ashok? Rock edict number 12. Dhamma Mahamatra finds mention in which rock edict of Ashok? Rock edict number 5. Rajuka, Yukta and Pradeshika, they find mention in which rock edict of Ashok? Rock edict number 3. So you can expect a question from here. Then go through Rumindei Pillar Edict and so on. Nigali Sagar Pillar Edict. Then UPSC has asked a question on Megasthenes Indica. Consider the following statement. So you have to just go through Megasthenes Indica. Who was Megasthenes? Megasthenes was an ambassador of Seleucus Nicator in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. And whatever, he stayed in the court for approximately 5 to 5.5 years, and whatever he had observed, he had given that a form of a book which is referred as Indica. Like Indian society was divided into 7 classes. Indian elephants are stronger than Libyan elephants. Criminal punishment or the punishment during the Mauryan Empire was very severe. India has large and navigable rivers. There was absence of slavery in India. There have been no famine in India so far. All these things have been mentioned in Megasthenes Indica. So there can be a question, and there has been a question in the UPSC prelims examination. Consider the following statement about Megasthenes Indica. Kautilya's Arthashastra go through key terminologies and specifically go through 2 theories. One theory is Saptanga theory, other theory is Mandal theory. Go through the terminologies of these 2 theories. Like Kautilya, Arthashastra. Arthashastra, it's not just a book on economics. It is a political statecraft. It is divided into 15 parts referred as 15 adhikarnas. It has totally 150 chapters which cover 180 topics in 6,000 shlokas and 380 karikas. So, Kautilya's Arthashastra is also referred as the first book on geopolitics. So, Kautilya's Arthashastra go through Saptanga theory and Mandal theory. And in Saptang means 7 limbs of the administration. Swami, that is king. Then Amatya, that is minister. Janpad, that is territory. Then Durg means fort. Dand means army, not punishment. Then apart from this, Kosh, treasury, and 7th is Mitra, that is alliances. So go through Kautilya's Arthashastra and the key terminologies. These are the important aspects that you need to cover in the Mauryan Empire. Is that clear? Now coming to one of the favorite topics of UPSC, Buddhism and Jainism. And what kind of questions can you expect from these two topics, Buddhism and Jainism? Siddhartha to Buddha. Key terminologies. I'll tell you the terminologies which have been asked in the examination. What is Mahabhinishkraman? Mahaparinirvan, Dharma Chakra Parivartan, Tathagat, Sakya Muni. So all these terminologies, when you'll study about Siddhartha to Buddha, you'll come across these terminology. What are 4 noble truths and 8-fold path of Buddhism, which is also referred as Madhyam Marg or Ashtangika Marg. Now, Buddhism is majorly divided into 2 sects. Rather than saying 2 sects, some of them say it is 3 sects. Hinayan, Mahayana and Vajrayana. But in fact, Vajrayana is an offshoot of Mahayana. I'll give you a very simple example. The followers of Hinayan believed in original teachings of Buddha. They did not believe in idol worship. And they believed that Buddha was not a god. He was a normal human being like us. He followed certain practices and then attained nirvana, that is enlightenment. Then everyone can become Buddha if he follows the path preached by Buddha. So they believed in the concept of Pratyeka Buddha. They did not believe in idol worship, but they believed in symbolic worship. On the other hand, Mahayana form of Buddhism, they believed in idol worship. In fact, you can say that the origin of the idol worship can be traced back to Mahayana form of Buddhism. So, sect of Buddhism is important. Apart from sect of Buddhism, Vajrayana form of Buddhism, which are the 2 important texts on Vajrayana form of Buddhism, such as Ratna Gotra Vibhag and Manjushri Mool Kalp. These are the important texts on the Vajrayana form of Buddhism. Direct question UPSC has asked, what is Chaitya Griha? Chaitya Griha means prayer hall and Vihar is nothing but the residing place for monks and nuns. UPSC has also asked a question on different monasteries and their locations. And specifically, UPSC has asked a question in the form like, on one side they have mentioned the monasteries, on the other side they have mentioned the locations. Which among the following monasteries are incorrectly matched? Okay, let me give you a small example. Tawang Monastery, Arunachal Pradesh. Tabo Monastery, located in Spiti Valley of Himachal Pradesh. It is also referred as Ajanta of Himalayas. K Monastery, Spiti Valley, Himachal Pradesh. Sashur Monastery, Spiti Valley, Himachal Pradesh. Rumtek Monastery on the foothills of Kanchenjunga, Sikkim. Okay, Thikse Monastery, Mind Rolling Monastery, Dehradun. Okay, so Namd Rolling Monastery, Kurg, Karnataka. So just go through the important monasteries. And there has been a question in the UPSC examination on the important monasteries. Stupa architecture and the important stupas. This is also very significant, not only from the perspective of ancient Indian history, but also from the perspective of art and culture. There can be a probable question, or you can expect a question on the key terminologies related to stupa architecture, such as what is Anda, Harmika, Vedika, then Medhi. So Vedika is the boundary wall of stupa architecture. Medhi, it is a Pradakshina Path. Anda, it's a solid hemispherical core. Harmika, it cannot be entered by anyone. Toran means the gateway to the stupa architecture. One of the finest example is Sanchi Stupa located in Madhya Pradesh. Like It is believed that Ashoka, when he embraced Buddhism, he had constructed more than 84,000 stupas across India. 84,000 stupas. And Mauryan Empire was being succeeded by Shunga dynasty. And Shunga dynasty was a fanatic Brahmin dynasty, and its founder was Pushyamitra Shunga. Now, Pushyamitra Shunga, like he said, he destroyed many stupas, including the Sanchi stupa. But his son, he rebuilt the Sanchi stupa. Originally, the Sanchi stupa was constructed in bricks, but it was rebuilt by the son of Pushyamitra Shunga, Agnimitra Shunga, in stone. There was no concept of gateway. There was no concept of toran in the original stupa architecture. In fact, the concept of gateway or toran was added by Satwahan dynasty rulers. So understand about the intricate terminologies related to stupa architecture and the important stupas like Dhamek stupa, Barut stupa, Sanchi stupa, Amravati stupa, Anantapindika stupa, Kesaria stupa in Bihar. There are three kinds of stupas: Sharirik stup, Paribhogika stup and Updeshika stup. So key terminologies are important. Important Buddhist caves. Ajanta caves, Ellora caves. Now, Ajanta caves are solely dedicated to Buddhism. Ellora caves are dedicated to Buddhism, Jainism and Hinduism. In Ajanta caves, dying princess painting, it is very important one. Just go through the cave number of dying princess painting. I repeat, go through the cave number of dying princess painting of Ajanta caves. Who patronized Ajanta caves? Satwahan dynasty ruler. It is situated on the banks of which river? Waghora river. Where is it located? Aurangabad district, Maharashtra. Presently, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. Ellora caves, cave number 14, 15 and 16 are important. Patronized by Rashtrakuta dynasty rulers. Okay, so Ellora caves, Ajanta caves, Karle caves, Bhaja caves, then Bagh caves. Bagh caves located on the banks of river Baghani in Dhar district of Madhya Pradesh and constructed or patronized by specifically Datak, a Buddhist monk. Apart from this, Bagh caves, just understand about the concept of Rang Mahal or the paintings of Rang Mahal. So important caves. Mudras of Buddhism. UPSC has directly asked a question, what is the significance of Bhumi Sparsha Mudra? Like Buddha after attaining Nirvana, like Buddha sat under a peepal tree continuously for 49 days on the banks of Niranjana and Falgu river. And on the 49th day, he attained Nirvana, that is enlightenment. And after that, he performed one mudra, which is called as Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. The significance of Bhumi Sparsha Mudra is, I have attained Nirvana. Who is the evidence for that? Mother Earth is the evidence for that. So, Bhumi Sparsha Mudra, Dharma Chakra Mudra, Vitarka Mudra, Abhay Mudra, Karna Mudra, Anjali Mudra. All these are important from the exam perspective. Schools of art. Again, question has been asked in UPSC prelims examination. Gandhar School of Art, Mathura School of Art and Amravati School of Art. Like Buddha is depicted with curly hairs, elongated earlobes. Okay. And he is seated in Padmasana position. The clothes on his body, they have folds. All these are features of which school of art? These are the features of Gandhar School of Art, patronized by Kushan dynasty ruler Kanishk. So go through like Gandhar School of Art, how Buddha is depicted there. Mathura School of Art, Amravati School of Art. Bodhisattvas. There can be a question on Bodhisattvas. Buddhist Sangh. 4 important Buddhist council, 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th Buddhist council. Like which was the only Buddhist council which was held in Sanskrit language? It was the 4th Buddhist council. Then the compilation of the 3 Pitakas. It was in which Buddhist council? It was in 3rd Buddhist council. Buddhism was divided into 2 parts, Hinayan and Mahayana. Which Buddhist council? It was in 4th Buddhist council. Ashoka patronized which Buddhist council? It was Ashoka patronized 3rd Buddhist council. Okay. First Buddhist council was held at which place? Rajgriha, patronized by Ajatashatru. Okay. Then go through the concept of Buddhist literature, that is 3 Pitakas. 3 means 3. Pitakas means basket. 3 basket of books. And they are Vinay Pitak, Sutta Pitak and Abhidhamma Pitak. You like there are many questions on Sutta Pittak. Okay, because Sutta Pittak is further subdivided into different parts. And finally comes the Buddhist symbol. What does conch shell symbolize? What does horse symbolize? What does the people tree symbolize? Okay, so Buddhist symbols. So all these are the important topics from the perspective of prelims examination from Buddhism. Moving on to Jainism now. Okay, the concept of, just a second. The concept of Tirthankar. As per Jainism, there are totally 24 Tirthankars. The first Tirthankar is Rishabhnath Ji or Adinath Ji, whose symbol is bull. Then 23rd Tirthankar is Parshavnath Ji, whose symbol is serpent or a snake. And the 24th Tirthankar is Vardhaman Mahavir Ji, whose symbol is what? Lion. So focus majorly on 3 Tirthankars. Okay? And sect of Buddhism, like there are two important, sect of Jainism. There are 2 important sects of Jainism, Shwetambar and Digambar. Now, as per Digambar, all the Tirthankars are male, but as per Shwetambar, the 19th Tirthankar, Mallibai, is what we say, female. Okay. And 19th Tirthankar, Mallibai, her symbol is Kalash. And in fact, there is a temple dedicated to Mallibai in Tamil Nadu, referred as Mallagurdi Jain Temple. So, Shwetambar and Digambar. Then 5 cardinal principles of Jainism: Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya, Aparigriha and Brahmacharya. In fact, only the last principle, Brahmacharya, was given by Vardhaman Mahavir, and the previous principles were given by 23rd Tirthankar, Parshavnath Ji. Okay? Then go through 2 important Jain councils that took place, important Jain temples. You can also correlate this to the current affairs. Like Shravan Belagula. Here you will find the Gomteshwar Bahubali statue. It is located in Karnataka. Then there is another important Jain temple referred as Lodhruv Jain temple, located in Rajasthan. Then last year, Palitana Jain temple was in news. Now, why Palitana Jain temple was in news? Government of India had declared Palitana as the first 100% vegetarian town or city of India. Reason being, specifically speaking, it is sacred from the perspective of Jainism. Now, what is the significance of Palitana? Out of 24 Tirthankars, 23 Tirthankars have visited the place Palitana, which is located on Shatrunjaya Hills. 1 Tirthankar has not visited. Who is it? 22nd Tirthankar. Name, Neminath. Symbol, conch shell. So you can correlate the questions from current affairs as well. So Jain temples, 9 tattvas of Jainism: Jeev, Ajeev, Punya, Pap, Samrav, Samvar, Asrav, Bandh, Nirjara and Moksh. Go through them. Samyak Gyan, Samyak Darshan, Samyak Charit. 3 Ratnas of Jainism. 8 important symbols of Jainism. Theory of Shayadvad, Anekantvad and Nayavad. Then Jain literature, go through that as well. And apart from this, go through certain terminologies as well. Now, what is Salekhana? What is Paryushan? So go through these important terminologies and concepts related to Jainism. So this is the micro listing of the topics related to Jainism. Is that clear? Moving ahead with the Sangam age. In Sangam age, go through important topics such as important Sangam councils. There were 3 Sangam councils that were held. First was held at Old Madurai and presided by Agastya Rishi. Second was held at Kapadapuram and the third one was held at Madurai. All the 3 Sangams were being patronized by Pandyan dynasty rulers. Okay? Then Sangam epics are important, such as Shilpadikaram, which is also referred as jeweled anklet. Okay? It was written by Ilangu Vadigal. Mani Meklai, again important one. Kundal Kesi, again another important Sangam epic. As we had seen, Ashtadhyayi, it's a first book on Sanskrit grammar. Similarly, there is another text, Tolkapiyam. UPSC has directly asked a question, what is Tolkapiyam? It's a first book on Tamil grammar. So Tolkapiyam. Apart from this, terminology such as Ettu Togai, Mullai, Palai, Marutham, Kurunji. What are these? These are the themes. Kurunji, it's a mountain theme. Palai, it's a desert theme. Marutham, it's an agricultural theme. Mullai, it is what? Forest theme. Niyathal, again coastal theme. Then go through important Sangam dynasties and Sangam rulers. Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas. Let me give you a very small example. Chera, Cholas. Karikal, he was the ruler of which important dynasty? Chola dynasty, because he has constructed one of the dams referred as Kalanai Dam on the banks of river Kaveri. Ellara, he was the ruler of which dynasty? Chola dynasty. And Ellara, many historical texts do believe that he had ruled over the region of Ceylon, that is Sri Lanka, for 5 decades. Then also understand the different administrative aspects. Sangam administration, then Sangam taxation system, division of the society. Again, another important concept. What is Kuda Volai system? It is nothing but the electoral process of whom? It is nothing but the electoral process of the Chola dynasty rulers. What is the concept of Variyam? Variyam means committees that took care of the administration at the grassroots level. So, do study about the village administration of the Cholas compulsorily. I repeat, village administration of the Cholas, mandatory compulsorily. Clear? Then another important chapter that you should study is the Gupta age, important Gupta rulers. Like specifically speaking, Gupta rulers, Samudragupta. Samudragupta is also called as Napoleon of India by Vincent Smith. Where do we come to know about the expeditions of Samudragupta from? We come to know about that from Allahabad Prashasti, also referred as Allahabad Pillar Inscription. So who is the author of Allahabad Pillar Inscription? It is Hari Sen. Who was Hari Sen? Hari Sen was a court historian in the court of Samudragupta. Okay. Similarly, who destroyed the Sakas and assumed the title Sakar? Sakar means destroyer of Sakas. It was Chandragupta II, who is also referred as Vikram Aditya. Who were the Navratnas in the court of Vikram Aditya? One among them was Kalidas. Clear? Then, who constructed the famous Nalanda University? It was Kumar Gupta who laid the foundation of Nalanda University. In medieval period, it was destroyed by Bakhtiyar Khilji, one of the slaves of Muhammad Ghori. Then focus on the administration of the Gupta, similar like the Mauryan administration. Temple architecture and its terminologies are important. UPSC has directly asked a question, what is Panchayatan? You can Google that. Direct question has been asked, what is Panchayatan? Panchayatan, it's a style of temple architecture. Now, there are different terminologies related to temple architecture. Go through them, such as Jagati, Mandapam, Ardha Mandapam, Mahamandapam, Antral, Garbhagriha, Shikhar, Amlak, Viman, Gopuram. What is Nagara style of architecture? What is Dravida style of architecture? Difference between the Nagara style of architecture and Dravida style of architecture. Important temples during the time of Gupta age. Then Fahin. Fahin was a Chinese traveler during the time of Chandragupta II. So accounts of Fahin, just go through that, and the Gupta literature specifically related to Kalidas. Question can be asked, which among the following are the dramas of Kalidas? Which among the following are the poems of Kalidas? Like Raghuvansh, Meghdutam, Ritu Samhar, Kumar Sambhav, all these are poems of Kalidas. Abhigyana Shakuntalam, Malvika Agni Mitram, Vikramo Vashiyam, all these are dramas of Kalidas. So you can expect a question from here. Then, who has written Swapna Vasav Dutt, written by Bhasa? Who has written Sishupal Vad, Magh? Who has written Ravana Vad, Bhati? So, you can expect a question on the literature part from the Gupta age. And there are certain miscellaneous topics that needs to be covered, which includes Shungas. These are the post-modern dynasties: Shungas, Kanvas, Satwahan, Kushans and Sakas. Then come to Hunas. Then come to Pushya Bhuti dynasty, and major emphasis on Harshvardhan. During the time of Harshvardhan, there were two important assemblies held: Kannauj assembly and Prayag assembly. Go through both the assemblies, Kannauj and Prayag assembly. Yun Sang was a Chinese traveler who came during the time of Harshvardhan. So go through accounts of Yun Sang. And then go through the literature that was personally written by Harshvardhan. That is PNR. That is Priyadarshika Nagananda and Ratnavali. Short form is PNR. I repeat, Sanskrit literature written by Harshvardhan. Priyadarshika, Nagananda, Ratnavali. And then finally comes just go through Vakatakas. Just go through them. Also referred, also the Vakatakas and so on. So these are the key topics that you have to cover from the perspective of ancient Indian history. Okay. So I have mentioned about these topics in quite depth and detail. This was about the micro listing of the topics. I have given you the references and the example. If you need to prefer a book for ancient Indian history, reference book, go through Poonam Dalal Dahiya. Things would be covered in quite depth and detail with easier understanding of the concepts. All these topics I have already covered as a part of YouTube series. You can also go through that as well. Okay. You can go through specifically through the marathon session that I've conducted previously, 6 to 7 months back. All these topics have been covered in depth and detail. My friends, target year 2026 success in prelims SIP batch. Okay. The batch is starting on 10th of February 2026. And everything would be taught to you in a very systematic manner, majorly concerning the prelims examination, with proper emphasis on all the subjects: history, geography, polity, economy, science and tech, current affairs, and environment. And a proper time would be dedicated for complete coverage of the subject. Plus, there would be a mock test so that you can gauge your preparation. Okay, so it's a February batch. And the prices for the batch is very affordable in comparison to the hefty prices across the classes in Delhi. So for the gold, the price is 4,999, and for a platinum, the price is 6,999. Now, what's the difference between gold and platinum? In platinum, there would be a mentor who would be guiding you throughout your journey for prelims examination. Okay, batch is starting on 10th of February. Use the code Alok Live that is flashing on your screen to get the benefits of these batches. I repeat the code Alok Live. With this, I'll stop my words for the day. See you guys with the next session on micro listing of topics for medieval Indian history. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.